Nate Loss here, content creator and broadcaster for everything sporting, esports, and sports. So my background is actually in traditional sports. Now I played the EA FC series growing up, but I actually worked for Fox Sports here in Australia, commentating soccer, as we call it over here, not overseas. Take note, unless you're America, basketball, cricket, golf, and a few other things. And then esports, particularly with the EA FC series, started to get big development. Progression was made here. And we had the E-League Australia. Shout out Commissioner Swifty for making that what it is, running for over 7 years. We had a grassroots side to that come up as well. So I was able to go from being a competitor, playing for sort of plastic trophies and things like that, to commentating for what became one of the biggest competitions for EAFC in the entire world. We have a competitor from that actually made the grand final, walking away with over 400,000. Local fans here in Australia will know me predominantly for the E-League Australia and commentating on EA Sports FC. I've also done some NBA 2K. We had a team actually there in the United States. Shout out NBL Oz Gaming. Before that, moved on in a different direction. So those would be my main two. But if you checked out my content before, you see me doing a bunch of variety titles. So I always have room in my heart for OCE on top. Everywhere that I go around the world, there's a reason that they're picking me in the first place. And part of that is to make sure that people realize that within EA Sports FC, it's not just Europe where the talent is. When it comes to NBA 2K, it's certainly not just the United States where the talent is. So I take great pride in representing those regions that maybe haven't had the spotlight shine on them in the past. So I've had the opportunity to go all around the world, places I never thought I would ever go. It's quite honestly like incredible. I found myself in Sweden, in Netherlands, in Saudi Arabia, in the US, in the UK, and I'm just sitting there like, how did I go from sitting behind a desk here in Sydney to being in some of these incredible locations, let alone being recognized and sort of sought out for my opinion. So I spent 6 months just recently in the UK, meeting a lot of people that I've had the opportunity to work with. I was able to host the UFL launch over there, another soccer simulator, which is extremely exciting, having more, not necessarily a competition, because I don't think they see themselves that way. They're just more titles within that space where there's different types of markets, different type of people looking for a different type of game. To be able to get involved with that was really exciting. To experience, of course, the football culture over there, attend a few live games, get to go behind the scenes, meet some players, get into the changing room, stuff like that was really exciting. And then over in the US, I was there for the EMLS, which is the big competition within the FC Pro series, making a bunch of vlog content, so getting behind the scenes and chatting to competitors, seeing what makes them tick. So I'm really fortunate in that the titles that I look after and that I'm passionate about, whether I'm commentating on them or creating content, I can do from all around the world. Again, just very, very privileged through had a little effort of my own and more just excitement and passion to be able to go to somewhere like Saudi Arabia, the US, UK, and get recognized, as I mentioned, here in OCE. ANZ, Australia and New Zealand is always going to be where I started and what I'm most passionate about. You can never take that away from me. So seeing where the scene has progressed is frankly disappointing. Not because there's no hype, not because there's no opportunities, and certainly not because there's no talent, but it doesn't seem like the right people and the right pathways are there. And having been to maybe some nations that people wouldn't expect to be more developed in somewhere like Australia. Again, I could name them. I feel like it just sounds like I'm talking them down. If you think of a country that perhaps maybe in terms of their technology, resources, or just like socio-political, geographic status, whatever way you want to cut it, you'd be like, they're below Australia. Well, no, friends. They're above Australia when it comes to their esports landscape. The sponsors that I worked with here in Australia have been fantastic, really supportive, and they are getting their money's worth. Let me make that real clear, that when they're not supporting a competition, they've just gone on to something else within gaming and esports, and they've made their money. They've got their return investment multiple times over in some cases. So for me, I'm left sitting here in a bit of a pickle, wanting to support the scene when it comes to EA Sports FC, NBA 2K. We've been there at the height it feels like we're now down in the valley, and I'm really interested to see where that goes. It's my main thing about esports in ANZ, OCE particularly. Sustainability. I've never been one for like a big hit on something and then just go away. So using a big time influencer to get your name out there and blow all your budget on that, personally, it's just not how I feel like we make things happen. Maybe that's how somebody ticks a box for a day, for a year. But here I am, having done this for, like I said, 7 years, looking at how can we grow things, make them bigger, make them better. So I'd really like to see those people come together. Not someone just looking to make a quick dollar, not somebody that's looking for a massive paycheck. Those people that are like, let's not just look at running a league or a competition for a day, for a week, or even for a season. It's let's get a 3-5 year plan going. Of course, we might need to adapt as things happen, but there's certainly potential there. There's a massive audience that is not being catered to. So can we somehow just get all those right people in the same room, please? One thing I think people don't realize here at home is how incredibly talented our competitors are. Now, I've mentioned the likes of Mark 11 going to a World Cup final, which he should have won, but we'll talk about that another time. Thanks again, Brett Henry. The talent at home, homegrown talent, ANZ, OCE, is world class. I wonder if a lot of the time that's just a self-belief issue. I know we talked about pathways and things like that needing to be established and set up for repeated success. But when you look at, for example, the E-League Australia, where we started, the likes of Marcus Gomes, Marco, we knew we had world-class talent. The circumstances in which they needed to progress to a World Cup, not quite impossible, but talk about needing to beat like every top pro from Europe just to get to a World Cup. From where we got to for the last season of E-League Australia, where the winner of that national competition got a direct ticket straight through to the World Cup. And again, did he perform well there? He performed above expectations, not to mention the competitors that he had to beat at home in order to get there in the first place. So anyone thinking that competitors in Australia and New Zealand are not world class, or esports orgs maybe not getting a return for their buck in the US, UK, and elsewhere, have a look down under. So globally in esports, I believe we're seeing a resurgence. People are really craving those big live events, that social aspect. In 5 years' time, I'd love still to be a part of that. There's nothing more that I love than people coming together. Now, the online events, the content creation, I enjoy it so much. But of course, even when I've done those things, I'm looking at the comments and replying to those, seeing if somebody wants me to create a particular type of content. In 5 years, I really hope to have grown massively within my own personal channels, reincorporated that viewer feedback. I'm going to start doing some more live streaming again. I haven't done a lot of that in the last 2 or so years, so I'm bringing that back in 2025, 26, because I need that constant feedback. If somebody's saying, change that up, change the lighting in the background, use a different player, try this game out. I used to do a thing called Pro Clubs within EA Sports FC, where I'd invite viewers onto the mic to play with me and sort of assess their ability and stuff like that. Hopefully, we're not quite in the complete snowflake generation where people can't take that feedback if they want to improve. So make sure if you do join me, then you're ready to learn the real sort of ins and outs of your own game. As you can tell, that I've never lost that passion or that hardline stance for performance that I expect from others and myself. Whether that is in Australia, New Zealand, or somewhere across the world, you will see me in front of the camera, a little bit too excited, smiling and yelling, making sure everyone knows, particularly the narratives and the stories of the competitors that got there in the first place, because esports, sports, whatever it is, it's just a catalyst for talking about people. For anyone that's watched this, or indeed watched anything of the hundreds or thousands of things that are done over the last 7 or so years, thank you so much. Thank you for watching, particularly this Fortress Spotlight. The socials are down below. As you've heard me go on and on and on about. Ask me questions. Tell me what type of content you would like to see, and let's create something special.